Hey everybody, this is Andrew from TS for Tech, and today I just wanted to go over a little bit of an experiment that I did with the AirTags, so the Apple AirTags. Now, if you don't know about these, I'm sure you can just search on YouTube and find a million other videos talking about AirTags. And I got one, ordered it when they were available for pre-order, and I got it about a week ago, and was testing it around the house, testing it, just see how it worked with my iPhone and all of that. And what I wanted to do is actually see how good the Apple AirTag and Find My network really is in real life. So obviously the kind of point in even getting one of these AirTags is you have something, you may have lost it, someone might have stolen your backpack or something like that, I don't know. But you can probably at some point put these sorts of tags on all kinds of stuff, put it on your dog's collar. And if your dog escapes, how do you find your dog, right? So there's probably a ton of use cases that would be possible with these types of things, similar to a Tile. I've used Tile over the last, 3-4 years. And the problem with that is if you do lose it, you kind of lost it. They don't have a huge network of phones, or at least is not as extensive as Apple would have, using their Find My network on the iOS platform. So, you probably have a slim chance of finding your lost Tile item, I just believe, right? Unless it's somewhere around your house and you're using it to find your keys, you don't know, the keys fell on the couch, etc. Now, I will tell you right now, this is totally different. So what I did, and just, I don't want to belabor the point too much, is I sent a package from my hometown post office to a friend of mine. His name is Adam, in Florida. So to a location in Florida from Illinois. First class package, no priority mail or anything like that. Just to see, well, first of all, does this actually work? Could I track the package as it, transited from Illinois to Florida? And, how often would it update? Would I actually be able to track and see the path it took to get to Florida? I was really curious about this. Now, I've seen a couple other folks had done some YouTube videos about this in Europe. So I watched some. I had this idea right away, but then I didn't get the AirTag for a while. And then I saw, obviously a couple other people are doing this. So this is not obviously a new idea. A few others have done it, but I wanted to just see for myself, how accurate is this? So I'll just start, and I'm going to kind of pan through some of the screenshots that I took. And basically here, what I did is I set up an Apple script that just recorded a full screenshot of a screen every 5 minutes for as long as it was going to take for this package to get there. So we'll start off right away. So I did drop it off at the post office. Now, what you can't see here is outside the post office, there are 3, kind of metal mailboxes, right? You drop off your mail in the mailbox. So as you can see right here, this location here in the parking lot where I'm kind of clicking, that's where the AirTag was put, right? So it was put in the mailbox there. So in a metal container, right? Keep that in mind. And and then I put it in lost mode. So I put it in the mailbox, put it in lost mode, and then, it's giving you the address here. And when I got back to my house, the first thing I saw was 19 minutes ago, it had been picked up. So the eyes are probably in a car, I would assume. So somebody driving by in a car with an iPhone registered that location, right? So now if I'll play this, and you'll see the eyes, which is the logo or the icon I set to it, they start jumping around, right? So what I'm assuming is that these are locations from iPhones that had picked up that device. And so I'll stop there. So there's a gas station. This is a Shell gas station, which is actually pretty far across the street from the post office box. And it picked it up there. So somebody was at the gas station and their phone saw the sensor, that the AirTag that was in a metal box outside, across the street in a parking lot. So I thought that was pretty interesting, that's a pretty far distance and it picked it up. So again, you saw that bouncing around, and I'll play this again and just keep going. And you'll see, okay, so maybe a couple people at the Shell station had seen it. Okay, now back to there. Now that one was actually even a little bit farther. Somebody like over here, right? So at a dental office in the parking lot over there, picked it up. So that's even farther away. I mean, that's a pretty big distance, I think, right? So that so this is pretty crazy. So yeah, so it did that, and then this basically sat in the mailbox for most of the day. As you can see up in the top corner, it says Thursday, May 13th, and it's incrementing by 5-minute intervals right there. You can see. So now I dropped it off at 9:30 in the morning. Now you see it's like 5 in the evening, and this just kind of sits there all day. And at some point it goes into the building, I think, because you can see here, now it shows it in the building. Okay, now it jumped, and then we'll stop there real quick. So, yeah, so if we rewind this just 1 second, and I play that again. So it was in the post office, and then it must have gotten put in a truck, and then it actually was captured somewhere at some intersection. This is maybe not too far from my house, maybe 4 or 5 miles. No, not even that. Maybe like 2 miles from my house. From 5 something in the evening to 6:38 p.m. It got tracked there, so I'm assuming it was in a vehicle. Obviously getting transported from the post office to another location, and then it pretty much jumps right into this other U.S. post office location, which is probably maybe 8 miles from my house. And there's a building there, and it's a post office sorting center, I think. And it gets there at 7 p.m. So then from there, it kind of stays for a while, and you can see the package location kind of moves around a little bit. And then, between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m., then all of a sudden it's moving again. So again, it's caught on another road, heading away from that location. Okay, and then it ends up on a highway. So 355 is a pretty large tollway in the Chicagoland area. And then it lands in another location. Now you can't see it here on this actual screenshot. It didn't show up. But this is a Chicago area bulk mail sorting center. So it sits in there. Also from like 10:30 at night on that Thursday that I mailed it. And I was watching this before, so I think it pretty much stays there till the next day. So 12 a.m., 1 a.m., and now it's somebody else kind of pinged it inside the building. Yeah, you can see here, Chicago Bulk Mail Center. So it sits here for a while, and I mean, you can tell it's getting refreshed. Even, the location, somebody in the building or a couple of people in the building must have iPhones, and it's kind of refreshing the location of it. This is crazy. I really still think this is just a little creepy almost. So I'm going to stop here, and I'll fast forward into when I see it change location. So I got there. Now it's the afternoon of the next day, so it's Friday afternoon. This is Friday evening. So it sits there basically all day into the next day. So now this is Saturday. Okay, so Saturday at 9:30 in the morning. And then after around 10 a.m., all of a sudden it's on the highway again. So sitting in the bulk mail center, probably got loaded into a truck, and now it starts to make its way elsewhere. So there, it disappeared off the map, but it still had a location, this 2350 Frieder Lane. And I looked before on the map for that, and it actually is another giant warehouse. And you can't really see the location here. I think it eventually does zoom in a little bit and show, but it's basically right off of the highway. So here we go. So I-88, it was in this building. So again, it went from the Chicago Bulk Mail Center to this other building here, and it sat here for a while. So this is Saturday at 1:05 p.m. and it bounces around in the building almost till later that evening. Okay, so now it's 9 at night. Now it's in the morning, 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning. Stays almost there all day Saturday until Sunday morning at around 6 a.m. And then Sunday morning at 6 a.m., it disappears. And then you'll see it'll end up getting pinged on the highway at some point. Okay, so now all of a sudden it went from that location in Illinois, and then it got picked up at a rest area in DeMotte, Indiana. So you can see like somebody, probably the truck driver, pulled over and he was in a kink in this rest area, and the package got pinged there. So he was in the rest area for like an hour, and then it's back on the highway. Okay, so I-65 South in Remington, Indiana at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. And then it's in Frankfort, Indiana, about a half an hour later. In Frankfort, Indiana, I-65 South. And then it kind of drops off the radar for a while, and it still says I-65 South on the package, but then the screen is not refreshing in the app. And then it shows up at a post office in Louisville, Kentucky. So that's Sunday afternoon, 1:01 p.m. Central Time at a post office in Kentucky. So then it stays there for a little bit of time, maybe an hour or two, and then it's back on the highway, gets registered in Brooks, Kentucky. As you can see, then it got picked up in Brooks, Kentucky, also on the Kentucky Turnpike. And then maybe an hour or so later, it's in Bowling Green, Kentucky, still on the highway. Franklin, Kentucky, still on the highway. Then it's in Gallatin, Tennessee, kind of at a corner of an intersection. And that was maybe a couple hours of driving, and then it was in Tennessee. And then back on the highway in Tennessee on I-24 East. Still on I-24 East about an hour later in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. So obviously it's making its way towards Florida. Looks like the stop for gas at a Blue Rhino Speedway gas station. Or not a Blue Rhino, but a Speedway gas station here. And this is in Jasper, Tennessee. So it was there for a little bit and then continued on. Got flagged in Dalton, Georgia. So it went from Tennessee to Georgia. Cartersville, Georgia. Still going south. Got pinged a couple times there. Now it's in Kennesaw, Georgia. Stockbridge, Georgia. McDonough, Georgia. Hits Forsyth, Georgia. Still on this I-75 South. Sorry, my update screen popped up there. Looks like you stopped again at a rest area kind of in Cordell, Georgia. It looks like a travel stop. Maybe getting some more gas. Somebody inside registered it, so the person was still at the travel stop and was there for a couple hours, it looks like, in the morning. So 2, 3 a.m., 4 a.m. on Monday morning. So I'm assuming this is on a truck. Truck driver's getting some rest. Okay. Now it continues. It's in Valdosta, Georgia. And then it gets into Florida. High Springs, Florida, 7 a.m. or so. It looks like in Ocala, Florida. Again, looks like a rest stop. So some truck driver took a stop at 7:30 in the morning on Monday morning. Was there for about half an hour. I kept driving I-74 or I-75 south. And he gets picked up a bunch of times. Oakland, Florida. And I don't know where this is. I didn't see on the map that's a location. Keeps moving. Now it's in Longwood, Florida. So around noon, Lake Mary, Florida. And then now it's in Jacksonville, Florida at a post office. So that's Monday at 1:22 p.m. And then moved again really quickly to another location in Jacksonville, Florida at a postal and credit union. So it was there for a little while. So I will just kind of fast forward this because this is getting super long. But again, it bounces around this location Monday, pretty much all afternoon into the evening, 10 o'clock at night, staying at this postal and credit union. And then basically the next day, so Monday night in the morning around 5 in the morning, it gets back on a truck and starts heading to St. Augustine, Florida. And then lands at this St. Augustine. There's a post office in St. Augustine. And then it's there for, the morning into the afternoon. This is Tuesday, which is actually today. I'm recording this on Tuesday. And then it will eventually here land in the final destination, which is the one right after this, in St. Augustine, Florida, at a different, a UPS store location in St. Augustine. So as you can see, I sent that on Thursday, basically Thursday at 9:23 a.m. So I dropped it off about 9:15, I think. So from Thursday at 9:15 in the morning in Illinois, it made its way all the way to St. Augustine, Florida by Tuesday at 9:53 a.m. Central Time. So there are like 1,500, 1,600 images that I used in this slideshow or in this to put this video together. Each one is a quarter of a second apiece. So you can see there's pretty good granularity of data across this whole, tracking of this. And, I could have probably set the timer to do it every less than 5 minutes, and I probably would have gotten, updates as well. But you can see generally here, every 5 minutes, it says like 26 minutes ago, 24 minutes ago, 12 minutes ago, 9 minutes ago. So the network is pretty large. And I'm actually surprised that it was being able to be tracked on the highway as good as it was as well. I don't know if the driver of the semi-truck had an iPhone, maybe, or is this being picked up by just cars driving by? That I'm not really sure. But I mean, it's kind of creepy how accurate this is, from a tracking standpoint. So if I had lost a package and someone was driving all the way halfway across the country, I could find out where they ended up, and I could, definitely try to retrieve it, or at least, contact the authorities or someone in that location to find out, like, hey, somebody took my thing, or I lost my whatever, and I can tell you basically within 100 feet or so where it actually is. So super cool. But anyways, I just, this ended up to be a longer video than I wanted it to be, but I just wanted to show you that basically the tracking of these AirTags is totally legit. Like Apple's network, the Find My network, they've been working on it for years and getting that in the background of all these iOS phones or all these iPhones and devices, and it does work. So this is definitely, in my mind, like the next level of the Tile and any of these other kind of little Bluetooth tags and finders and, lost item trackers. This is crazy. I definitely can see that this would be potentially misused. And I know there's some privacy discussions going on around, what happens if you slip this in somebody's bag? Can you really track them all over the place? Will they know that you're tracking them? Those sorts of things. And all of that aside, definitely from if you lost something and you want to find out where it is, or if you want to put this on your pet or any of your devices or in your bag or in your luggage, you're definitely going to have a pretty good likelihood of finding out where it ends up. So if you have any questions, go ahead and post those below. Hopefully this was helpful. If anyone's interested on the accuracy of these things and if you can really actually use them and track things in real life, my take is that you can. If you listened this far, please consider subscribing to the channel, giving this video a thumbs up. This is Andrew from TS for Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.